Welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. Hope you're all doing okay. So obviously this new patch is coming for Abyssal Space. Yeah, I can't say if it's going to be a nerf or a buff, but they're adding extra difficulty levels to it. So as you probably heard, or if you don't live under a rock, you've probably heard that they're adding a T0, which is for brand new people to get into it. They're not that difficult at all. You could probably run them in a Tech 1 frigate like a Merlin or Burst or whatever. Not Burst, that's a blodgy. Never mind, ignore me. And also adding T6s. Now, we're going to briefly discuss this over in this video. And all my sources, all my information that we discuss, I will put links to in the description. So you can go and have a look at it yourself. You can find out all the information. You can have a good read of it and make your own opinion on it as well. First of all, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as you can keep up to date with all these news and Eve news and whatnot coming out and what we can come and have a chat about it here. So first of all, let's get into this. So T0s, they are aimed at expanding on CCP's instant gratification on PvE content for varying different difficulty levels for those people that want a bit of a challenge or that want to be chilled out. It's up to you. You can obviously do whatever difficulty you want and whatever risk you're willing to take. And whatever risk you're willing to take depends on obviously the loot that's going to get. The higher the tier, if you haven't done Abyssals before, the higher the tier, the more value of loot there is in the site, or potential, not always. I'll come back to that one later. So obviously it depends what sort of ship you want to field, whether you want to field your 5 to 10 plus billion Esquila, or whether you want to just go in a Vagabond or Phantasm, or if you do frigate Abyssals like myself. It depends on if you want to fly a worm or whatever. As you can see, we fly these Hawks. I've done a couple of videos. I've actually got another one, shameless plugging. I've got another one coming tomorrow night on these. And then I'm going to start doing an entire full breakdown of the Hawks, how you fit them, how you fly them, each room, and how you attack each room, and so on. Anyway, digress. So these T0s are going to be for entry level. People who've never done Abyssals before. So great, they can get people involved straight away. And then they can work up as they progress and as they feel more confident with the sites. So obviously then you go through your tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, which is currently tier 5s, is your end game Abyssal content, which is what is on the screen now. I thought I'd just play some Abyssals in the background as we're discussing Abyssals. So this is me and a corp mate, and I'm dual boxing Hawks. It is ridiculously easy. But this is where it's come to. Me and my mate can quite comfortably sit and farm these for a couple hours a night, walk away with 500 mil per character. Quite comfortably. So I understand why they needed to shake this up, because it was becoming a little bit ridiculous on how much money, consistent money you can make. Because once you get it down to a fine art, you're pretty much golden. You can almost, not AFK these, that's a bit stupid, but you can just chill out and do these. And this is supposed to be like a high engaging, high level PvE content, but it's not anymore. But this is what happens when stuff gets added to a game. People meta the crap out of it. It gets put down to a very fine art, and then it's farmed. And then it takes however long for the developers like, right, that needs changing because it's too easy. So that's where we are currently at with this. They are giving the Abyss a good shake up. Now, next part, what we're going to be looking at is these extra ships that you're going to be finding in the Abyss. Yes, that's right. Extra ships, and also extra factions. Now, the lore of the Concord being in there, yes, you heard, Concord, being in there is they're taking the fight to the Triglavians, but they don't want anyone knowing about it, so they act hostile and they destroy anyone that sees them in there to remove anyone from talking about it. So there's Concord in there, your pacifier, your enforcer, and the marshal. I have read I have read the forums, and apparently the marshal can nuke quite heavily out to 50 kilometers, which means rest in peace Hawks. If you can't keep your velocity up, or we may have to switch to afterburner to keep, as long as we can keep the capacitor going. But as it's a battleship nuke, we can probably counter that quite easily. And the Sansha spawn, yes, you heard Sansha. Don't have any idea what the hell Sansha or the Angel Cartel are doing in the Abyss. No one knows. I mean, it's just completely random that they've been thrown in. There's no lore to it. There's no explanation. It's just, we'll just throw these guys in as well. They don't have anything to do with the war between Concord and Triglav, but hey, let's just throw them in anyway. So I have watched a video of a guy doing a T6, and he was in a very expensive Gila. I will say a very expensive Gila, and he got into a room with the Angel spawn. Now that he must have had 7 webs and about 6 newts on him, which is fine because they were frigates. If they were bigger ships that were newting him, he would have been boned on a whole new level. I watched it and I don't like the look of T6s. There's obviously more ships, they have more health. The rewards at the minute, it's probably just because it's on the test server, but the rewards at the minute aren't that great. Not really worth doing. So I imagine those will be getting balanced as of when. I think they're just testing the functionality of the sites at the minute to see how the NPCs are spawning and whatnot. But apparently, Sansha, as soon as you land in and start, as soon as you move and break your invulnerability timer, apparently they hit you very hard at range. And they have, obviously, Sansha notoriously good for tracking, as all their ships, the Phantasm, the Nightmare, and the Succubus, they all have a bonus to tracking speed of their guns. So they're very good at tracking, and they can hit you pretty far out. So that's going to be pretty hard. I mean, if you get all of them on you, Sansha on you, that's going to hurt a lot. Angels, as I said, is heavy newting, heavy webs. I didn't see what the Sansha did. I imagine it'll be sensor damps, because in nullsec, the NPCs in the sites, they do sensor damp and something else. So I imagine they'll sensor damp you to hell. So you have to go in range of them to hit them. Unless you're carrying a sensor booster, which is then you're reducing your tank. So there is a lot to reconsider with these spawns. Also, with these spawns, as we've been discovering it in T5s on these frigate ones, with the sites, there will be a spawn that you cannot do, that you will lose a ship. It's you just cannot do anything about it. It's one of those things. Me and my court mate, we've been doing them, and we found every 3 to 4, maybe 5 hours that we run, not in one go. God, I haven't got that sort of patience for it. And over a few days, when we tally up how many hours we've done, we normally find that when we get to about the 4 to 5 hours, we get a wave that we just cannot do. Or we'll go into a site and we'll have 3 of the thickest, chunkiest battleships that the game can throw at you. And that's it, you time out, or I don't know, it's one of those, but it's like as if there's a failsafe in there to, you've had too much success in here, let's kill you now. That's very much the way it's been in T5s, and I imagine it's going to be even worse for that in T6s. So the only real bonus about doing the T6s is you get these capital mutaplasmids, which, yes, capital mutaplasmids, they finally did it. So you're going to be able to use the mutaplasmids to enhance the capital warp scrambler, capital Warp Disruptor, capital Nosferatu, capital Energy Neutralizer, the Siege Module for Dreadnoughts, yep, I know, right? The Siege Module, and also Logistics, so your local tank, your capital Shield and Armour, and the ancillary counterparts, Shield and Armour, they're going to get Mutaplasmids as well. It's going to be a whole new wave of broken in capital modules. It's going to be really, really interesting. I imagine they're going to be extremely expensive, and that's where the money will come from these T6s. So it depends on how much you're willing to risk your ship for the possibility of getting one of these Mutaplasmids, but it does depend on where the prices of those sit. But yeah, also they are adding some more of these Triglavian ships into the Abyss. So enter the Rediva, the Drekovic, Kikimora, and all the tangling, ghosting, striking variations of them. It's going to be disgusting. I've already seen some people on the forums going on about 7 or 8 Kikimoras remote repping each other, and if you get in range, they just absolutely nuke you. Especially there's tangling and all sorts. So it's just gonna go badly. I was just scrolling through the Hobo leaks, which is what I'm going to link here. Drainer Marshal, which is obviously the one that's going to nuke you. It doesn't say what the arrestor and the attacker is. I imagine it's various. I imagine the arrestor is going to be like a scram or point or a web or something. Anyway, there's also going to be a drifter command battleship, which is going to hit harder. So these wrecking shots are going to be through the roof. If you get hit by a wrecking shot, you're probably just going to get deleted from one of those drifter battleships, the new ones. So that, in a nutshell, is pretty much those. As I said, I'm going to leave all the lists to the new items and stuff like that on Hobo Leaks in the description. So if you want to go and have a look at those, have a read through, see what you think, see what your thoughts are. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below as well. We'll see if we can have a little bit of a discussion, or if you really do want to come and have a chat about something, head over to my Discord. Again, link will be down there. Come and have a chat about it, or ping me on there if you want to discuss it, and we can either jump into voice comms or we can message or whatever, you know. So that, in a nutshell, is the Depths of the Abyss update. It's live now on the test server, so if you want to go and test it out and see how it is for yourself, go and have a look. They're all on there. Oh, one thing I forgot. They're now doing destroyer duos. Yeah, you heard. Destroyer duos in the Abyss. Now, the people have been testing what sort of destroyers you can take through. So your standard T1s you can take through, your T2s you can take through, and unfortunately the T3s. So your Jackdaw, Hecate, Stork, and forgotten what the Amarian one's called. Someone help me out. Nope. Confessor. That's it. I got there in the end. Confessor. So those can go into the Abyss as well. Now, I know the Confessors and the Jackdaw are very good at kiting, so it's going to be a case of whether you want to use your beams on your Confessor and kite at range, or same with the Jackdaw, because they can get about 80 to 90 kilometre orbit on the Jackdaw, which is a little bit insane, but I don't think the Abyss is that big anyway. So I think if you can meta and fit one of those Tech 3 destroyers, to not so much tank, because if you're kiting, you're not really set up to like tank a whole room. You're set up to kite and keep away and move fast. So it's going to be interesting to see how these destroyers work. Soon as it comes over to Tranquility, I will be putting videos up of all these different ones, and you can come and laugh at me losing stuff and all that good stuff. But if you want to see that, guys, you know what you need to do. Go on, hit that button right now. Yep, right now. Right, okay, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you found it some informative. If you found it helpful, let me know in the comments, or just simply hit the like button, whichever. But for now, guys, take it easy and look after yourself.